Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Happy Friday. Welcome to pre-market update. Let's start with Bitcoin and crypto. You can see this is daily chart of live market of Bitcoin in front of massive resistance. You can see all this white trend line hitting it, bouncing and back, bouncing and back, bouncing and back, and now going back again. And you can see a couple of days ago, these red and yellow lines, these are 50 EMA and SMA on daily. It touched it, and now it's going lower. It's below all moving averages, so which is not good news. Also, you can see day before yesterday, I was saying it's about to cross, but you can see what happened. PPO now went below, green line is below red line. So I really want to see this close. Unless that close happens, there's no bullish event on Bitcoin happening. So you really need to wait for this close. If not, then it can keep going lower. So keep that in mind. This is a very good indication of when the bottom is in. So Bitcoin is looking very weak. So just keep that in mind. And this is BTC Live Future. There are no gaps to the top side. Next gap is around 47K here. Then after that, there's a gap around 3940K. So just keep that in mind. It's finding CME futures, finding support on this 200 EMA blue lines. However, the live market is below these two blue lines. Okay, so right now I don't have any. The only good thing for the bulls is we made a low, and if this low is held and you can bounce, that's good, then it's a change in trend. But if we break down below this previous low, then that's going to be really bad. So that low is around 49,500. So for some reason, if it decides to drops, that's not going to be good. But if it can bounce from here, that means we are changing trend in smaller time frame. That's going to be a higher high, higher low. All right. So if it can, you can see it made a high. Now this should needs to be above this high, and if we can bounce from here, then we can get that. Else, if we're gonna fail, go below this, then it's gonna be very bad. Ethereum, same thing here. Ethereum is again weaker. You can see on these PPO. However, its green line is still above red line, which is good news for Ethereum bulls. But again, if Bitcoin falls, the Ethereum will also fall. So let's keep an eye on Bitcoin for now and keep an eye on how it's gonna do. Again, it really needs to bounce, and previous low is around 2100. It needs to hold that low. Now, if it can bounce from here, that's going to be change in trend. But if it fails below this previous low, then it's not good. On ETH market, the CME future, there's a gap around 3000. There's a gap around 3949. So there's a lot of potential upside on Ethereum. And inversely, if it goes down, the next gap is around 1800. All right. So these are the gap analysis on Ethereum and crypto. And on buy and sell chart, let me put. You can see here uh, lines here. Right now, Bitcoin is all of a sudden bouncing. 1 minute chart, and it came very close to buy line and now bouncing. So green lines are where we buy, red lines are where we sell. You can see yesterday was a dump here, and now we are recovering from that dump right now in the middle. So nothing much to do here. And on Ethereum, the levels are, you can see here, bouncing from the green line and in the neutral zone right now. Okay, guys, that's it for crypto. Let's go back to SPX cycle analysis. Let's do cycle chart. Let me zoom in. You can see where we are right now. We are in this rising phase on S&P 500. Okay, so this rising phase is still have until next Friday to go. So about a week. So I don't think a dump will happen, although we have some gaps here. So focus on this yellow cycle. So that's how this trend is building. So we can really in rising phase, and then we'll have some declining phase. So I'm thinking this is going to be a higher low, and then we're going to keep gripping higher on this next rising phase as well. So just keep that in mind. I think we have another week or so for consolidation, or maybe another pump. Now, if I go to SPY, you can see there are multiple gaps on the top side. We had a yesterday gap up here as well, day before a couple of days ago, and now there's also a gap here. So we're right now in the middle. Are we gonna fill this bottom gap first, then go higher, or we're gonna keep going higher, fill this top gap, and then come back lower? On good news is we are above all moving averages, so which is a very good news. As long as we hold above this red line, which is 50 daily SMA, I think it's all good for bulls. On live market, again, we are a little down pre-market, but again, we broke out, maybe backtest, consolidate, and start going higher. That's quite possible as well. And let's go back to our buy and sell chart. Here you go. You can see right now, yesterday we were very, very oversold overbought, sorry. And now we're coming for consolidation. We are in the neutral line. We could go higher. Above 55.70 is where next resistance is, so still room to go higher on MES. Nasdaq, you can see same story here, very oversold, overbought, sorry, and then again it came to the neutral line, and here on a daily chart, struggling to close above this red line. So let's see if it can close above that today. That will be good. And on triple Qs, Nasdaq ETF, the gaps are here, two massive gaps, and then two massive gaps to the upside as well. So if they decide to close above gaps from where we close, the gap is all the way 4.45%. And the next gap, which is coming very soon, which could be filled today, is around 1.35%. So just keep that in mind. All right. Okay, so that's on Nasdaq. Dow Jones, DIA ETF. Dow Jones is looking very bullish. Again, same story on all indices. Now in the neutral line, trying to bounce again. And let's see if it can break out. And on DIA ETF, again, multiple gap up due to Walmart yesterday. There are no gaps at the top. So eventually this gap will fill. I just don't know when. So let's see if they're going to fill this gap, then bounce, or they're going to keep going higher. Russell 2000, IWM ETF. Right now, it's also in the neutral zone after a massive bounce, facing resistance on this 22-day moving average. Let's see if it can hold here and then go down, or it's going to bounce. IWM is also massive gap up yesterday. Now there's a gap fill around here, 216, so they could take it higher, fill this gap, and then bring it lower later on. Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX, massive moves, again near new highs, above all the deviations, but that's okay. So maybe it will consolidate here. We'll see. Hang Seng Index, China. China is in the sell zone. So nice moves here. Nice near some resistance lines here. 200 EMA, 50 daily SMAs and EMA. So in front of resistance. Let's look at some FANG stocks. Tesla consolidating. Down little pre-market, massive move yesterday. So just consolidating after that move. There's a gap here around 202, and then there's also a gap here around 246. So also it's in front of this resistance line. You can see this nice resistance line. So let's see if it can, that will be where it will find some resistance around 220. Apple is also gap up yesterday and above all moving averages, so very bullish. So next gap up is here, gap target 234. So let's see if it's going to fill that gap. Amazon was up massive yesterday, 4% gap up, multiple gaps to up, multiple gaps down, so very overbought short term. Netflix is also very overbought short term, above all moving averages, looking very bullish. Google is also a good trade, I think, still very low compared to all FANG stocks and multiple gaps to the upside. So even if you buy Google today and hold till the end of the year, you have a potential 14% upside possibility. Okay, so keep that in mind. Meta is now consolidating after a massive move yesterday again. Microsoft is also another good trade in my opinion after Google. Probably they're going to fill these two gaps at some point. Snowflakes is looking weak. Yesterday was down heavily and then recovered, but today it's let's see if it can pump multiple gaps to top side, one minor gap to bottom side. NVDA is what moving the market, looking very bullish above all moving averages price. And if it can bounce, next gap is around 125 to fill. So if it can keep going high, it can go to even new all-time high. And AVGO is right now also doing what AMD does. Sorry, NVIDIA is doing. Next gap is around 101.68. It's gonna go keep filling that gap. Let's look at commodities very quick. Gold is bouncing, new high. So new high or new all-time high for gold. This is gonna help TSX, and you can see massive move all of a sudden. Silver will follow gold very soon. For some reason, it's very weak compared to gold. I don't know why, but I think it's going to start recovering very soon. Copper is down uh, again, going towards Pi zone below all moving averages. I mean 200 EMA and SMA. So let's see if it can recover. Copper made a new low with divergence. You can see RSI has higher high. So it's good that momentum is building. Crude oil is down for some reason. massive dump in last couple of last 30 plus hours or so. Let's see if it can recover from here. We'll see. Natural gas is actually this gap is filled, so we can delete this. Recovered nicely after divergences. So there was a gap. They also filled that gap too today. So it looks like no gaps to the top, but two more gaps to the downside. We'll see right now in the middle, in the buy zone right now as we're talking. Palladium is in the neutral zone. Soybeans is also trying to make a bottom. Very oversold. Capitulation happening. Eventually it will recover. We just gotta be patient if you're buying soybeans. Sugar, we all eat sugar, so eventually it's gonna recover. So bouncing from the buy zone, trying to make a triple bottom looks like, with some divergence on RSI. So I'll see if it can bounce here right now. Wheat, also same thing here, trying to make a bottom. Divergences, you can see building up new lows with RSI going higher, PPO going higher, trying to build up momentum. Corn probably going to do the same thing here. Divergence is building up. It really needs to break out above this white line, EMA line, to be bullish again. And then dollar must be tanking. You can see dollar is going lower, coming in this demand zone around 100 bucks. So let's see if it stays here. It can bounce from here. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you have any particular stock you want me to review, put a comment. I will take a look. VIX crushed yesterday, so now it's trying to bounce. VIX went so high, it's above my all the charts. So you can see here, VIX is now trying to bounce off this 200 EMA and SMA. So if it can bounce, it can bring SSPX little lower, but I think we still have, as per cycle analysis, some more time to go. You can see here still some more time left, another week, so I don't think we're going to have a significant dump. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Hit the like button on the way out, and I will see you later. Bye.